Hey guys, Rod here at A Better Way to Farm. Happy Monday evening. I hope harvest is going well for you on October the 1st here. I hope things are rolling. Be safe. We titled this, Some Things to Think About Before You Spend Fall Nutrient Dollars. So let me start with before I hone it in specifically. I am constantly reminded that everything matters. There is nothing that's insignificant. There are no small decisions. Everything we do has ramifications. Sometimes in government they don't want to accept that, but it's a fact. That's part of the situation that they're in. With our farms, every single thing we do, every day, every decision has long-term impact. And so I say that because I want to make sure that we are always ever mindful of the right thing. As you guys know, on my desk pad, I've written down in red ink, it is never wrong to do the right thing. And it doesn't matter if it's in our relationships with other people, if the maintenance on our vehicles, the maintenance on our equipment, what we do to our soil, it's never wrong to do the right thing. And conversely, it's always wrong to do the wrong thing. Shortcuts always come back to bite us. I run across people who use this statement, and I use it as a red flag. I hear people say, well, it'd be easier for me if you ... That's like a giant red flag, because what they're saying is they're going to take care of themselves. They're going to take a shortcut knowing it'll make your life more inconvenient. When we're thinking about spending our nutrient dollars, I'd like you guys to consider some things here, please. Number one, we live in Van Buren County, Iowa, in the southern half of the county. The northern half tends to get kind of black. It starts to get to be better dirt. The southern half, well, we're what we call rain dependent. As in, I tell everyone, here's how you describe our farms. We're 10 days from a drought, and it can be raining when I tell you that. And one of our guys, Jason, up the road here ways, lives 8 miles, farms 8 miles from us. He's in the same end of the county as we are. And he called me because his first 18 acres scaled 220 bushel to the acre, and we had a D2, we were classified as a D2 drought. Everything you do matters. Jason has done the things that make us more tolerant of hot, dry conditions. Now, yes, there comes a point in time when we can burn up. We know that. However, we can be the person who has done the right thing, and we can be the last person to have our crop fold. What are the right things? Jason doesn't put on fall anhydrous. Jason doesn't put on anhydrous at all. Jason doesn't use 0060 at all. Jason is working hard to do those things that build soil health. You know, everybody's talking about soil health, but the same people that are telling you it's important to build soil health, that are selling you products to restore soil health, are selling you other products that are destroying soil health. Everything matters. Everything. And so those decisions that we make are going to be important. And they're going to impact what happens next year if it's too dry. And the decisions we make today impact that. Sometimes we want to say, okay, what do we got to do? We had this tremendous crop and we have all that residue out there. I'm looking out at our cornfield, and we're very blessed. Our corn made about 200 bushel to the acre, and that was after it raised about 50 deer to the acre. I'm sitting here right now and I'm watching the deer clean the field for me. So that's kind of exciting. I know we won't have any volunteer, but they ate, I don't know, 15, 20%. And the deal is, we know that we have a lot of residue, so what are we going to do about it? Well, let's just talk about a real simple to build, inexpensive stock digester. So one of the things you might think about before you do anything on fall nutrients is, what if we went out and we said, all right, let's take 5 gallon of 28 or 32, let's take 2 gallon of ammonium thiosulfate, let's put a quart of Wex with it, and let's put a pint of Centos, which is our sugar, and let's spray that. And we'll feed those bacteria, especially right now. It's early and it's still fairly warm in most of the United States. And we can really go to town and start getting those stalks chewed up and digested so they can start releasing the nutrients, because there's a tremendous amount of nutrients in those stalks. We just got to figure out how to recycle it. So thing one, let's talk about how to build a stalk digester. And guys, if you're interested, you can always contact us. We'll help you with that. I'll run back through it again. You can watch us multiple times, but we have a lot of guys who do that very thing. What else do we want to think about before we start just calling up and blowing and going and spreading a bunch of stuff out there? Well, let's think about, why are we doing it? We know that everything matters. We know prices are tough. We know that even in 19, we don't see great opportunity for marketing at values that we would like. So let's make sure that what we're doing in spending nutrient dollars is where we should be spending nutrient dollars. The fact that we did it that way for 40 years does not make it a good idea. What makes it a good idea is that there's a return on investment. And so let's go out. Thing two that really needs to happen after the stalk digester, actually probably before the stalk digester, is let's soil test. Let's go out and get us a good soil test, and let's do exactly what it says. If you need help with that, we got people who will help you. If you want to get a good soil test and not a loadout sheet, then let us help you. Because page one is going to be analytical work, and it gives us a lot of things to look at. And page two, also on page one, is a dry broadcast program. So at least if that's what you choose to do, you're doing it for the right reasons based on a specific yield goal on your soil, on each field. Page two is the recommendations that says, I'm going to use your system, Rod, and I want to come in here. I want to attend that ProAg training that you talk about. I want to learn how to better manage these dollars, and I'm going to do what it says. And I'm going to do no more or no less. And I'm going to spend exactly what it takes for me to grow 220 bushel corn, or me to grow 275 bushel corn, or me to grow 330 bushel corn. But we will have a specific written recommendation that will help you achieve whatever goal it is that you want economically. And it's very, very important that we figure out how to grow that bushel of corn or that bushel of beans for less money than we did last year. We really have to dial that in. You know, I've often heard that hope is not a method, and hope is not a method on about any front. You know, if it's our idea of how to avoid an accident, bad plan. If it's our idea of how to be successful, terrible plan. If it's our idea on how to make money farming, it's an absolutely horrible plan. Because if our deal is we're hoping that beans go back to 12 bucks and we're hoping that corn goes back to 5, I don't think I want to risk my financial future on that. I think what I need to do is say, this is what I can control. What I can control is how to make that bushel of corn for less money. And I'm going to do just that. The next thing to consider is, why are we doing the tillage that we are doing? Or why are we not doing any tillage, or not doing a certain style of tillage? And I don't have that answer, because you guys know there are some things that I am passionately believing in. One of them is that one-size-fits-all agriculture is a terrible idea. That every person has to dial in what they're doing for themselves. We know nitrogen management varies by soil type and slope and point rows and squareness of fields and a lot of things such as that. We know that in certain areas there are some strip till methods and dumping in some nutrients in a band that makes good sense and makes good yield and makes good money. There are other areas where that may not be what's economically feasible. And so what we want to do is just say why. Let's be ever mindful of what we're doing, knowing that everything matters, knowing every decision is important. Let's concentrate and say, why are we doing this? Is this going to get us to our goal? Is this going to help us make more money? If it is, then it's a fantastic plan and I'm all for it. If it's not, if it's just we're only doing this because it's what Dad did, it's what Grandpa did, it's what the neighbor does, then we need to possibly rethink that. And I would encourage you, as you're driving that combine, running that grain cart, hauling that corn, those beans away, be thinking about, why am I doing what I'm doing? And how does it fit in with what my goals are? How does it fit in with helping me to get down the road to achieving better success? Guys, we love working with you. We believe in you to the end of the earth. We thank you for letting us be a little part of your life, and we look forward to working with you. So if you have a reason to get a hold of us, text or call 641-919-1206. Or hit us up with a message right here on the Facebook page. If you want to do me a favor, share this with a friend. Tag someone in it. Let them know that we're out here, that we'd like to help them. And let them have something to think about while they're driving too. Guys, I know this. Fundamentals do matter. And that's what we're talking about is fundamentals. And we would love to help you. I hope you guys have a better week.